in this lesson video, we're going to go over using the brand research tab and kind of breaking down what we should do as Amazon wholesale businesses once we find a profitable product. I think a lot of sellers, they get stuck, right? Like if I start sourcing KeHE and I find a potential profitable lead, I think the majority of sellers are probably just going to continue to source down this list, right? Product by product, which there's nothing wrong with, but on Amazon and in wholesale is you want to find a profitable product and then branch off of that item. There's going to be brands and products that are profitable from certain distributors, and then they're going to be unprofitable. It's just what it is, at least from what I've experienced through my business of selling in Amazon for the past 6 years, is that KeHE might have a profitable brand, but UNFI doesn't, and vice versa. And it's super weird. Sometimes it just works out like so. When you find a profitable product, you got to dig deeper into that specific brand, and you want to mooch off every single product under that brand. Now, the issue with UPC scanning is that it's simple, right? There's less friction to sourcing products, which means that there's items that are under the covers that we're not going to see on a traditional UPC scan. And that's why the brand research is here, as well as storefront stock, to help everyone analyze other ways to source outside of just one method. So like I said, the brand research is in like its infant stages. We're literally barely started developing it. We're kind of getting like a test beta. I want feedback, etc. And we're going to continue to improve upon it. But the whole point of the brand research is to allow you to search a brand and find every single ASIN registered to that brand, like literally every single ASIN, whether it's stocked out and it's no longer selling, but third-party sellers were selling it. If it's actively selling, if Amazon's dominating the listing, you can pull in every single ASIN under that brand. And then from there, you can add products into purchase orders. So let's kind of go over like a live scenario of what this is going to look like for when you find a profitable product. So let's say that you're sourcing through, and I actually want to use an actual KeHE scenario. So let's go with KeHE August for my file. All right. So lowest profit per sale to the highest. That's always what I do. We're also going to do an offer count filter, Amazon stock percentage less than 60%. We're going to do profit per sale for last year greater than 1, buy box availability greater than, and let's do as well. Where's the offer count? New offer count greater than, let's go 4. All right. So let's say this Miss Myers product as an example. I'm going to open up just as a potential product. All right. So we open up this listing. Looks like Amazon started coming on this product, but there are sellers on this product, right? At $11.94. Now our cost is $4.01. We're looking at $1 profit after shipping and after prep. This is a profitable product, right? We just stumbled upon an item. It's a lower margin. It's not the best product in the world, but there's 500 plus bought in the past month, and we're profitable after all expenses. Low profit, low margin. You could increase the margin and the profit on this item. But now that we found this item and we know that our pricing is good from this distributor for this specific product, now the next touch point is taking the brand and then searching it. So when you use a profit calculator like AZ Insight, or use a brand, or I'm sorry, like RevSeller or maybe Selleram, it should have the brand here. So you can just copy the brand, and then we're going to go into the brand research. Now I'm just going to pull out the brands that are in here right now. So we start from 0. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just paste that brand name. And now the software is going to go through and start pulling in every single ASIN under this brand. Now this is going to require manual sourcing in this process, right? This is a manual process. I can go is not empty. This is going to show me every single product under Miss Myers that I have access to, that I know for sure I can buy. But there's other items here that you're going to have access to, but it requires additional steps. For an example, this variety pack is not going to UPC scanner. This product is probably not going to show up on a UPC scanner. There's additional listings that we're missing out on. So we're going to do a sales rank between 1 to, let's say, 200,000. Let's do an in-stock percentage on the product that's less than 60%, an offer count that's greater than, right? So we start filtering through some of these items that are not going to make sense. And we could see like some items here where the bundle quantities immediately are off. This product here is clearly going to be a 2, 4, 6 pack here. So we can change that if you just want to change that real quick and just see. But we look at an item like this as an example. Take a look at the Keep It graph. You see that it's pretty much selling at a low price. We're going to pass on that product. Even an item like this on at $6. Let's take a look at this 2-pack. Okay. So this item here, right? So we're going to open up this product. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look for UPC on the product image. So we can see the UPC is right there. So on the listing itself, there is no UPC on the listing. That's why it's not going to show up on a UPC scanner. So, because there's nothing to match it to, but I have the UPC now. I have the product. So I can search this 124-113-619. So we're going to go into the search supplier database, 124-113-619, 113-619. Now, just to clarify what we're doing, we are searching all of the catalogs that we've integrated into the web. So rather than you going and taking the product and trying to search it on every single distributor's website, portal, spreadsheet, you're just searching it through the software that you've integrated your business into. That's the way to think about it. Now that we see, okay, we do have access to this product. My cost is $311. Now I can go through and I can add this product to my purchase order. I'm saving that to PO, take the ASIN, just paste it on the quantities too, saving that to PO. Just like that, I can add this product directly into my purchase order. So let's say that this 144 sales a month divided by 5 offers is 30 sales for me. So let's go with 60 units. So we just found potentially that's not going to be right. Let's see here. How much profit did we just find from that one item in a matter of just a few minutes here? We found $100 in profit, 17% net margin, 50% net ROI. By literally finding that one product, even though that margin was not where we wanted to be, and we just went deeper into that brand. We said, wait a second. Okay, this is not a product that we're going to sell, but it's profitable, right? Like by profitable, I literally mean that you're not negative. If you see a 5, 7, 8, 10% margin, you are profitable. You need to dig deeper onto the brand and find these other obscure listings that people are overlooking. So now we just found that one product. We're going to go back to the brand research and we're going to continue to do this over and over and over. So now that we see that, we're going to click on this 3-pack here. So we're going to open up this product. We're going to see Miss Myers. Once again, we can see the UPCs on the listing. UPC is 124-714-313. So, oops, let's see. Why is this not working? 124-174-313. Let's see if I remember. 124-314-713. I don't think so. No. 124-174-313. 174-313. Right? So all I'm doing is I'm looking up the UPC in my system. Okay, I do have access to the product. My cost is $293. $293 times 3, $879. Product selling at $28.99. It was selling at this price of $26.99. Another good product. Just found. Add it to the purchase order. If you guys have been enjoying the video so far and you're not yet a third-party profits user, click the link down below to start a free trial today. This is a variation listing, so it's selling 200 plus times a month. Looks like there's no offers, and something happened with this listing where like it merged. So it's a little bit strange because I don't know what happens. Well, it merged, and that's the reason why. But it's just a concern with this type of product because you don't know how fast it's going to sell now that it's a merged listing. But this is an item that we were able to still kind of look at and source. So let's just go with the low quantity, 24 units, 8 units to test, and just kind of see. Continue to go down this motion. So this product here is a 6-pack. We can just see by looking at this item, the image, is this a product that we're gonna be able to sell on Amazon?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because of the weight and the size.
Exactly, right? Like we look at this product, so we look at Miss Myers 33 fluid ounce and have them as a 6-pack. That is just like, that's gonna be a very tough product to sell. This product is probably a large, oversized, or a bulky product. Let's take a look and see it. So this item here is gonna be large standard, 15 pound, right? So 121-669. Search the supplier database. 121-669. Miss Myers. Here's the products from all the different suppliers that carry this as well. So you can see all the different vendors, and it looks like our lowest cost is actually $221. But we're gonna go with KE just because we're kind of working with KE here. So 290 times 6. You're looking at a break even. Now from this other vendor though, 221 times 6. Now the product's profitable, right? So important. Like this is why, guys. Like I'm not being biased, but like this is why this software is a game changer. You have a complete bird's eye view over your business. The whole point of Wholesale is to open up as many wholesale accounts as possible and get a very clear idea of where you can buy products for the lowest cost possible. So we can immediately see that why would we buy this product? Or we can see that, of course, we're not making money from KE, right? It's not a profitable price, but there's other suppliers that do have it profitably, and that's how other sellers are selling this product. They're buying it from another source where the price is a little bit better. So it's something to just kind of look at and consider. This is why back into your pocket, being able to source more profitable inventory for your business. So let's just keep this going here. Pass on that product. Yes, Steven.
Yeah, I ran into a problem recently where I opened up a couple accounts and like they just don't have catalogs. So like, what's the next step if they don't have it? Like, how would I input it in the system?
So the next step would be to use the brand research if you wanted to, and go brand by brand, and then take the products and then just search it on the supplier's website. So instead of searching it in the supplier database, you could just search it against the supplier website.
Got you.
Or you could use Instant Data Scraper to be able to scrape the entire website and then take that Excel file and upload it into the software as well.
Oh, okay, okay. And that's instant data scraper?
And yeah, and it's a free Chrome extension. There should be a YouTube video on it on my YouTube channel on Third Party
Oh,
Profit.
perfect. I'll look it up. Appreciate it, Paul.
You got it. All right. So like this item again, once again, this is like a 3-pack, right? So like this is probably gonna be like a heavier product, an item that most likely we won't want to be able to sell in our business. Keep a graph really isn't that good as well. But like this item here, this product might have potential. It's selling at $27, which seems really high. This is probably not gonna have a buy box as well. Oh, it does. $26.96. Once again, FBA is on the listing. It was selling at a lower price. Offer count's low. This is a great sign to see. Once again, UPC is on the listing, 178. Now, real quick, I just want to go over, guys, in case there wasn't a UPC, you can still find the products. All you got to do is just take the keyword of what you're looking for. So, for an example, what is the keyword of this specific title here?
Multi-surface.
You could use multi-surface. Yep.
Mrs. Myers clean day multi-surface.
Do that. But there's one specific thing inside
Rosemary.
Rosemary, exactly. Right. So if you take Miss Myers or you search Rosemary, it's inevitable that you're going to be able to find every single Rosemary product in here. Right. So now you see, okay, Miss Myers, I have access to Miss Myers. This one looks like the 32 fluid ounce stuff. So now I'm going to go down. I'm going to try to find that exact product packaging. Right. So let's see, sourcing through here. It is. Boom. 16 fluid ounces, 32 fluid ounces. Keep it going. Keep searching for it. Right. So this is if you didn't have access to that specific UPC, then you'd want to go through this motion. If I just take Miss Myers and we go Rosemary, let's see if this will populate. No. Okay. Rosemary. And then let's do 32. Maybe that will come up. No. Rosemary 32. Okay. There it is. Right. So our lowest cost here is $4.59, but we're going to search from Kehi, which is $4.30 right here. Wait, that's not the same product. Kehi 554 or 545. Right now, this product's selling at a super high price. It was selling at $17.32. So $17.32, looking at a profit of $3.36, 19% margin, 60% ROI. Like I said, guys, this is my real pricing from Kehi. Like these are products I could buy in my business right now and sell on Amazon. These are all items, and this is at the lowest price point. Like this is an item I would be selling in my business all day long. It only sells 100 to 200 times a month, but at the lowest price, I'm profitable, and the price increases and I still make money. So at $19.99, my margin's going from 19% to 28%. And then even at this higher price at $23, it's going all the way up to 36%. Like these are solid profit margins, like super, super solid. Yes, Aaron.
Like what price would you be coming in at?
So I would sell it at this $26.97 until I can't, to be honest with you, because it's so profitable. Like, 43% margin, your 212% ROI. I would sell it at that price point until other people come on the listing, and then the price will start going down. Because we could see that back here was kind of similar. It was selling at $24.99. Offers went up, price went down, and then essentially, boom, then that product went away. But like, another item that is a good product to sell on Amazon. Like we've been finding, like so far on this call, we found multiple quality products to sell from this one brand. We haven't even done any other brands. We started with one item, a random product on the scanner. We took that brand, we went deeper into the brand, and now we're finding all these products on this brand. And then once we're done with this brand, we go find another brand and we do it all over again and just continue to go through that motion. But the key is, you got to find where those profitable brands are. And what I mean by that is like using a UPC scanner to expedite the sourcing efficiency. UPC scanners are great to go product by product by product, but what you want to be able to do is use that as leverage to understand where the opportunity is with that supplier and then dig deeper. And this right here is digging deeper. Let's see, wait, where was that? Oh no. Oh wait. So this specific item, let's go with a 100 plus bought, 100 monthly sold, 2 offers on the listing. I would test like 20, maybe 18 units of this product. Keep it moving. This looks like a 64 fluid ounces. We can see Amazon on the listing kind of popping in and out. I'll open it up just to kind of take a look and see what's here. So Amazon Fresh is on the listing. I'm not concerned about that. I know that there's been some questions about Amazon Fresh, but guys, there's nothing to worry about with Amazon Fresh. Nothing at all. Or Whole Foods, either or. So here's a variety pack. This is going to be a pretty solid product. Competition is going to stay low, right? We can see here that both the UPCs on their listing, but I'm just going to source as if there isn't UPCs. That way you guys understand like how this process works. So search supplier database, search that specific thing. Yes, Thomas or Tom.
Just a question. You don't have to answer it now. You could do it afterwards, but it's about the whole Whole Foods thing. But you can continue the thing. I just wanted to mention that really quick before I forget. That's all.
Sure. All right, let's see here. So this one's the olive oil and aloe vera, right? So same product. Okay, our cost is $2.93. So I'm just going to write that down. And now this item is going to be, oh wait, Iowa pine scent. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, same product, 12.5 fluid ounces. Now this one I'm looking for the peppermint scent. So now I'm going to look that up. Let's go 12.5. Okay, there it is. We can see our cost once again is $2.93. 293 times 2, 361 in profit. Selling at $22 for FBA. And like, it's crazy. Probably not really selling that well though, which is unfortunate, but the margins and the profits are there, guys. Like it's just, it all comes down to how you're sourcing and like the pricing you have. And the pricing is all dependent on sending out as many quotes to your vendors as possible and just getting them to come back and ask for pricing and seeing what you can work. You got to throw up shots. So this isn't an item I'm actually going to save because it really doesn't sell. I mean, actually I could save this, but I don't think I am. I'm just going to move on and just continue to just move in this process here. Another product here. This looks like this is going to be a 6-pack product like this, selling at $4 or $5, right? There's just no money there. 3-pack here. Looks like the price is starting to rise. Let's take a look and just kind of see what's going on with this product. All right. So FBA sellers are on the listing. We can see that this is a merged product. Yes, Steve.
Yeah, for the lower moving product, like $7, $8, $6, are they really just making 50 cents, or is there some secret sauce to like lower the FBA fees or something?
No, so really what the thing is for these lower price products is just that, prep costs are different for every business. So what might cost you $1 to get in costs someone else 30 cents. And for them, they're willing to take a $1 profit or a 50-cent profit if they can sell 100 products like that. I know that to a lot of us, that sounds crazy, but a lot of people that also do sell on Amazon have a lot of money. So like for them, it's like, it's either that they just let it sit in a bank account or they just continue to invest in more products and just make more money. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's all relative to scale. I think for every single person in this room, we would never want to buy a product that makes us 50 cents because we're just like, what the hell can we do with 50 cents? But to other people, it's a different game. You know what I mean? So
yeah, 100%. Appreciate it.
For sure. And that's why for me, I like to try to source products that are at least 15 to 20 bucks at bare minimum, because anything lower can get tough. With expenses, shipping, etc. Just mathematically, it is hard to overcome that equation. You can do it, but it's just challenging. So once again, we got this product here. So what should I search in the supplier database based on this listing?
Uranium.
We're going to search this right here and let's see. All right. So there's the product. Our cost is from KHE is $2.90. 290 times 3, break even, but it's selling at the lowest price it's ever sold for. It was selling at $22.98, right? So this was a good product. It's just we got there late. So this is an item that I'm going to save and put into my product folder, into my save products, and I'm going to revisit it. It's not a bad item, even though it is selling a little bit slower. I'm just going to save it and I'll revisit maybe eventually. Right now, I have no intention of selling the products, but we already took the time to source it. So why not just save it, right? Like, well, why not just save it? ASIN, 3-pack, save and folder. Takes 2 seconds. Move on. Done. Now it's in our back pocket. So we can continue to move on. So like this 3-pack here, I'm going to take a look at. It looks at why the price is going down. Is the offer count going up? Is it because Amazon's coming on the listing? Right. So we can actually see that it's just the FBM offer that's coming in. They have 12 reviews. And that's exactly why I wanted to open up the product, because the price is actually pretty consistent. It's just that this one seller came on the listing and they're destroying the product for now. So at $20.70, that's what it's selling for. We're going to take, once again, the flavor or the scent, and then we're going to just paste that in. Bluebell. Okay, here's the product. $2.90 from, let's see, from KHE, it's $2.90. 290 times 3. Okay, it's a low margin. It's probably not a product that we're going to be able to source, but that's all right. We'll move on. Let's keep it going. There's another variety pack here. I believe our cost last time was like $293 or something, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll take a look. So $30. So 293 times 3 is 879. Selling at 2803. Doesn't really look like the product selling though, like at all. And I mean, the price has gone up. It is in a variation listing. It's just getting your hands on like 3 different products is going to be challenging. And to put in all that time and effort for an item that really doesn't sell that well, it's just, it really comes down to where you guys are in your business. This product will still sell. Like if we take a look at the offers tab and just get an idea of kind of what's going on with this listing, we can see here. So like, it looks like 26 has sold from this guy here, which is not bad. 26 sold on an item that's selling at, what's his price point? So his price point is $32.60. So $32.60 is $12 in profit per item times that 26 that he sold. We would have made $300 in profit from this item in gross profit. So it's another product that you can add to your wheelhouse, right? People are selling through the inventory. So that is a good sign and it's super profitable. So you can add this product in from here and you can add those UPCs in additionally. We're not going to go through that motion here just because it's going to take a decent amount of time. We're just going to save in folder 180. But if it's a variety pack, you just want to attach multiple different UPCs to that specific item. Okay. Now, maybe an item like this, right? Like I skipped over this product because that variety pack just looks kind of crazy. I don't know if that's going to work. But like an item like this, we could see the price is going up. Price is actually low at $4 to $6. We're just going to move on. 2-pack price looks like it's fluctuating a little bit. All right, cool. So my point is that we started ripping through this brand and we can continue to rip through this brand, but we're going to go and now we're going to find another brand and do it all over again. So let's go into the EPC scanner. Let's continue to source. So let's say a brand, let's see here, that I'm familiar with off the top of my head. Kiss My Face is a brand that I believe third-party sellers are on. Yes, so we can see the price is starting to go down a little bit. That's right though. Our cost is, I believe, like $934. Yes, it was selling at 20, so it was profitable. We just got there late. We're going to take the brand, go back into the brand research, and just put that brand in. Okay, now we're going to find that brand name. We're just going to click on that one brand that we have in the system, hit apply. These are all the products now that meet that criteria, and we're going to start sourcing through once again. So we look at this product, we can see it's kind of increasing on price at $13. We'll still open it up, take a look at it. Looks like it might be hazmat based on this. No more offers, just went away, but it did have a buy box here. So I am going to take a look at the product because I'm already here, and this is kind of like an outlier. It looks like the product always had a buy box until literally the past week. So this is not a bad item. It's just a bad item right now. So $375 or $14. We can take the scent lavender -3. We're going to search that one more time in the system. We're looking for Kiss My Face. So if I go with Amazon title from highest to lowest, and then that way I can go and find Kiss My Face. Here's the product. $335 is my cost, selling as a 2-pack. So it looks like it's a break even, low margin, was selling at $14.60. $14.60, it still really doesn't make sense. Low profit, we're just going to move on. Next item. Looks like it's selling at $6, just move on from that. Another low price product, here's a little bit higher of a price. So we're going to open this product up, selling as a 2-pack. Keep a graph so far, it's slower mover, but we'll take a look and just kind of get an idea here. So this is going to be, what is the specific keyword? Fragrance free, maybe? That's got to be the scent, right? There's no scent. Okay, there it is. $314 is our cost. $314 times 2, $4.67 in profit at today's price. It was selling at $16.60, and that is still a healthy profit per sale and healthy profit margin. 24%, 62% on an item that's consistently profitable. Not the fastest selling product in the world, high rank, but you're not going to see a lot of competition on this listing. It's a pretty solid profit margin. You take 12, 18 units, you can sell a month of it, and that's it. You continue to find more products like this. Just add it to your wheelhouse, some more items that you've sourced. So save and add to PO, add the dates in. It's a 2-pack here. Save and folder, and add to working PO. We're going to test. Let's go testing 12 sellable units, $50 in profit, and just move on. Next item. Selling at $10, too low for me. Just move on. $18, increasing in price. Good sign. Open it up. Okay, no buy box on the listing, but it looks like it also recently disappeared. There was another period back here, but we're going to take a look at it because this buy box might come back. And at 1980, this might be profitable. So we'll take a look. Cool Mid Gel 4.5. Kiss My Face 293. 293 times 3. Profitable. 19% margin. Selling at 1955, 14%. Sells pretty well when it has a buy box here. You know, sells 100 to 200 times a month, 50 to 100 times a month. It's decent. Could be better, could be worse. Another product we're going to save. Like just picking off products left and right. Like even though these aren't items that we're going to buy today, we're building an ecosystem of items that we've sourced and found. And we're going to revisit this product when this margin is no longer 6% and it's back at 15. We're ready to buy. We already found it. We did the work. We already looked at the item. You know, we went through that motion. But I don't want to add it to my PO though. All right, I just saved it. That's cool. Anyone have any questions before I continue? Does everyone understand the process of like what we're doing here? Like, does this all make sense, or does anyone feel like, Paul, I'm confused. I don't understand what you're doing. Like I'm lost.
A lot easier.
Do you understand like kind of what this button here is for as well to help with that process of finding it?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
When you say you will be revisit, how you do that? Like you put an alarm, you got alarms in here, or once you go back to your folder, you open back the Amazon listing?
Yeah. So whenever you save a product, like when you click on either of these buttons, is this ASIN automatically gets transferred into your saved products, and you're building out a folder of essentially every single ASIN you've ever sourced. So as this price is changing online, the margin's going to reflect on this list. So as you build out this list, you can actually start sourcing through previous ASINs that you found to see what items came back to life.
Okay.
I think, yes, Axe.
Hey, Paul, sorry. I joined a little late, so I'm not getting what you're doing here. So sorry, Pete. What's the purpose and what is it that we're trying to achieve over here?
Absolutely. So the purpose is that essentially when you start sourcing, whether that's through the scanner, the storefront stalker, however you're sourcing, the sign of wholesale is understanding that when there's one product under a brand that's profitable, there's most likely more products under that brand that are also profitable. So we recently added in this beta. It's not yet like fully developed. We're still working on it, but it's valuable enough where I think you guys can make money from it. And as we continue to make it better, you know, we're going to make it better. But the point is that you can take a brand name and you can paste it in here, and then it's going to now pull in every single ASIN under that brand. So we're going to be able to see that there's already matches in the system for all these products, but products that don't have matches yet, they're still going to come up. And you could actually, if you wanted to, you can make matches manually in here. So if you wanted to tag Kehi to this ASIN, that way you know that under that brand, like you can build out a list of every single brand that you found is profitable in here essentially, if you wanted to. But you can source through here and find more ASINs under that brand.
Got it.
These ASINs are ASINs where they don't have UPCs attached to the listing. So there's no way for the software to find that product for you. So if you find more profitable brands, now you can go and then search that brand deeper and go deeper into that brand to now get to a brand level and then reverse source it to then find that product. So what I've been doing is using the search supplier database, which allows you to search the entire catalogs you've uploaded into the software. So if you have 20 catalogs into the software, when you're searching keywords into this search bar, you're searching every single supplier of access to. That way you know what the lowest cost is and what suppliers carry this product. So the only supplier that carries this product is Kiss My Face or Kehi, and my cost is $293. So now I know, okay, based on this keyword, that's the specific product. And then once I make that match, now I can add that product directly into a purchase order.
Got it. Awesome. That's good. Thank you.
What we've seen in our business, and I think for a lot of sellers that are successful on Amazon, is that going deeper into a brand will allow you to pick off other listings. And here's the thing that will help you guys more in your business. When you're buying from distributors, one of the most powerful things that you could do is have multiple products from the same brand. Why? Because if you're asking for discounts, now that distributor can go to the brands asking for more, for help, saying, hey, Kyle is placing a a $5,000 purchase order of Miss Myers products. He's asking for 3%. Our margin is XYZ in this order. Can you kick back the 3% so we can push this order through? And then that sales rep from the distributor works with the brand, and then boom, you get that pricing just like that. You go wider on that brand.
Got it.
So it opens up a whole new door of opportunity essentially. So now on this software, you guys can use UPC scraping. You can storefront stalk, and you can have a list of every single ASIN that you found and scrape against that as well. So
What you're doing right now, how is the normal way that people find these listings, but for some type of software like this?
sure. So what they're doing instead is that they're going down and they're searching here, like kiss my face, right? So they're doing a physical title search on Amazon, kiss my face.
Oh God. Okay. That's
Right. So now you're going to go through and you're going to see these results. But here's the thing is that when you're going through that motion, there's products that aren't going to get shown on Amazon because no one's offering it anymore. Okay. Just because it's not being sold right now does not mean it's a good product. It means that most likely people stocked out on that product. It could have sold well. You come back on that listing with inventory, sales are going to come back on that product. That is an opportunity where you now control the price of the product where other people don't. You're the leader instead of the follower, right? That's the way to think about it, is that when you get access to this and you're researching the entire brand, you're literally getting access to every single ASIN under that brand store in Amazon's database. So you have the advantage to understand every single ASIN that you can sell under that brand rather than just what's available on Amazon right now.
Got it.
Buy as a shopper, essentially. So huge.
That makes this way cooler. Okay.
So, and then from there, add the product directly into purchase orders, so from here, you want to add that product into PO, you could. So, I mean, so far, just from this one little process here, let's kind of see what we were able to do. I think Miss Myers, right? This was the first item that we added in here. All solid products. $3.17 in profit per sale, $8, $11, $8, $4, all greater than 15% margins, like all solid, pretty solid products. Not shabby at all. This actually needs to be 36, so it's one case. Pretty awesome stuff. It's a cheat code, guys. It's a cheat code. Yes, Aaron.
I just want to give you your flowers, brother. You guys did a great job on that.
I appreciate it. This is only just the beginning of this. So this is like a rough draft is what I'm going to call it. But I want to make this dialed in. I want to see how we can improve this and make this a lot better because I think there's a lot of opportunity here with this. So
Just need to add more catalogs now for brand research.
Yeah, Paul, for this to work, you have to have multiple suppliers to compare the price.
yeah, I mean, even if you don't, as long as you have that one supplier that you're sourcing off of, you're still gonna be able to find those products. But like the more suppliers that you do have access to, the more profitable your business is going to be. That's really what it is. Yeah, that's the more that you're willing to pick up the phone and send out emails, like the more money's going to be in your pocket. That's the way to look at it.
And it's a lot less page switching, going back and forth because everything's just there.
Right. You don't need to go through, 5 different supplier catalogs or multiple different spreadsheets. Like you can source every single thing that you need to on here to allow you to make money.
I went through my first catalog this week on Friday. They didn't provide me a digital catalog. And I found, that was the one that I was going to spend, $4 or $5 grand on. But it took me literally 8 or 9 hours because I had to do everything. Click on Amazon. Oh, let me see this. Okay, cool. Let me go back in here. Let me break it down. Let me put in the shipping. It took all fucking day.
Yeah. A big issue that's going on in Amazon now is that listings are coming down, right? That essentially what you're dealing with, where it's misbranded is what it's called. The thing about sourcing through this type of method, Kyle, to your point about just, searching it, whatever, there's going to be a mix of products that are misbranded, which means that when you source that product, if you're not looking at that checkpoint, there is a high probability you can buy that product. And then once you get it into Amazon's going to remove that listing in 30 days. And now the money that you invested is gone, right? So like if you see an ASIN and you research the brand on the brand research here and that ASIN does not come up, that means that it's misbranded, that it's not under the right brand. Now, another way to also check is like just Barbara as a pro tip to help prevent some of these things and for everyone else in the room is by looking at visit the store name. So like if you notice the store name is not what the brand name is, then that is an issue. So let's see if I go to my working purchase orders and I look at all the different ASINs that are in here. And if I pull up, let's go and find brands, right? Oops, I want to actually move the brands next to the title here. There's the title, okay. Right? So we look at the title and you just want to look for any discrepancy. So here's the discrepancy, right? The brand is this brand, but that is not the brand name. So that right there is a listing where if you bought, essentially, you're going to be running the risk. Like what you just dealt with, Barbara, is the same thing. We open up this listing. We see that it's not under the right brand here. There is a high probability that this listing is going to come down on Amazon, unfortunately, soon. Or you're going to get hit with an ASIN creation policy violation or something of that sort. So you want to look at these things. You want to make sure that the brand name, the brand store is equal to the brand name that you're sourcing. Now, the reason why I say that Whole Foods and Amazon Fresh, in my opinion, is irrelevant is because you got to look at the data, right? Like we can look at the face value of the product and say, all right, well, you know, Whole Foods is on the listing. They have the buy box. I'm going to stay away. But the first step that you should really take when you see something like that is go to the offers tab and just take a look to see if sellers are selling that product, right? That's the first step, is to take a look to see if people are selling it. And the next step is also just take a look at the blue graph, because Amazon Fresh, they're not going to be coming up as like an FBA offer. Like this is FBM and FBA, you know? So this will indicate whether or not people are selling inventory. This downward trend of this offer count going down is telling you that people are selling products. So even though Whole Foods might be in your area, or it's very frequent in New York or whatever, there's also a lot of people that shop online that don't want to go to Whole Foods, or that don't shop from Whole Foods, or don't whatever. You know, people have their own caveats to how they shop. And then plus, there's a lot of places that don't have Whole Foods. They're less urban. So, you know, I would say that at the end of the day, that really the most important thing to look at is just the data. And then if the data speaks other way, you know, then you just move on. The way that we built this software, and the way that I've personally looked at not just sourcing but buying, is that it's a funnel. It's a funnel between restocking, between storefront stocking, between UPC scraping, through all of these different mechanisms of finding products. So you go through and let's say you filter down by KE. So we'll do like a real life example. Let's say K profit per sale is greater than $2. We want to focus on margins greater than 10%. There's some items that pop up. Let's say this Pantene product is like, all right, cool, I want to buy this item. We add these products into the system, put in a quantity that we're thinking about buying. And now when we hit submit, the theory is that since you have all these different products, where do you invest your money? So before you just add it to a purchase order, we have $44,000 in cost of goods. If we want to filter down to just KE, we have $2,000. Let's say that your budget's $1,000. Here's that best $1,000 spent with all the access to products that you've added to the system. Well, the products that seem like the best are going to be this item, and let's go with that. And we're going to hit submit. And now we're going to have that purchase order for those specific products, you know? So that way it funnels it all under one roof. Like the working purchase orders, to me, is just a leads list. It's a leads list of all these products that you're preparing to buy, you're thinking about buying. And then once you make that decision to say, you know what, I'm going to go place a purchase order with KE, then you go through, you submit that PO, you can put the order number in here, you can view that purchase order and download it, etc.
Okay. So once I put it in the working, that item always stays there.
Correct.
I've been in contact with a brand recently. It's more like off topic. It's more like, I guess, a brand conversation.
Sure.
We've been in a conversation, and it's obvious that they haven't been doing anything to monetize their, Amazon sales. They're not on any of their listings. They're a big brand. They sell big brand, more than $1 million a month. I've been talking to them, and they don't want, to give me any information about their authorized distributors or direct, wholesale through them. But it's obvious that they're not, looking at it. Should I, maybe send them, some information of how much money they're missing out on? Because, they told me they're looking through their Amazon and their online presence, and they're going to crack down on it. But it's obvious they were just lying. So where should I move forward with this brand conversation?
I personally, like, in terms of brand conversation, are you referring like you're trying to land a brand direct account, or you're just trying to sell the products on Amazon?
Trying to go brand direct with them.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, going brand direct with a company like that, I would realistically call them back and ask them when their next trade show is, and then go to a trade show. And I think that that's going to be the easiest, like the least path to resistance to have like a real conversation. But here's the thing is that when you're speaking with brands, the biggest touch point is speaking their language. So like, you know, when we're talking about Amazon, it's easy for us to talk about like listings and optimization and like A+ content, like all these things that we understand as sellers. But these brand owners or people that work for these companies, you know, they might be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. They have no idea. It's like Chinese. The way to speak to brands is by speaking in the language that they speak. So things like lifetime value, things like customer acquisition costs or cost per lead. Like if you go on ChatGPT and you just ask ChatGPT, like what are the most important KPIs that brands look at, and then correlate what that thing is against Amazon. So for an example, let's say that the KPI that brands really care about is having a conversion rate of greater than 5%. Let's just say 5%. You look at an Amazon listing like this, what are the conversion rates of a listing like this? Like how many people are going to look at this Cento red clam sauce and then end up buying it, right? So instead of us saying, oh, the images on your Amazon listing aren't good, or, you know, we need to update this stuff. The language is that if we're able to increase or we're able to implement new marketing assets on this listing, we can take your conversion rate from 2% to 8%. You know, like that is going to be the vehicle that's going to be like, whoa, like I know that, you know, my XYZ costs are this. If I could increase my conversion rate by 4x, what does that mean? You increased your revenue by 4x, right? So like when you start speaking that language, that's the way that they're going to open up and start understanding the opportunity. So yeah, that's the angle I would go through.
Gotcha. Appreciate it again.
Of course, man. Yeah. And then, you know, every single week we do these calls, and I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going to lie. When I first launched the software, I was going to do this for like 6 to 8 weeks and I was going to stop. And then I was like, you know what? I created the software to help sellers grow their business. So like, I'm going to do these calls for as long as I can to make sure that everyone understands their business better and can get the results that they're looking for. You know, Amazon's not an easy business, but it's not a hard business. There's a learning curve to it. Like anything, you know, once you learn it, it's like, it's butter, but it just takes a little bit of time. But you guys can probably see, like, I'm just moving with this shit, like quick, you know, and it didn't always start like this. It just took repetition. So yes, Kyle.
Yeah, it's almost obnoxious how fast you move.
So as always, if you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. Shoot me a text, you know, give me a call, whatever you guys got to do. Just, you know, you don't have to feel like you're alone in this stuff, because Alex and I are here to help in coaching, and then software stuff here to help as well. Yes, Aaron.
Now, I just want to give you your flowers once again, brother. You are very wholesome. There's not a lot of people. It's very true. Once you get closer to the top, people get nicer. The more you are at the bottom, lower vibration, people just aren't so willing to give. But you are very giving, and I do appreciate you, as I'm sure everybody else watching does.
I appreciate everyone in here. Seriously, it means a lot to me. You guys take away time, you know, seriously. So, and you guys are willing to also try out the tool and use it, and I hope it's helping everyone in here in their business. So yeah, I appreciate everyone, seriously. So I want you guys to crush it the rest of the week. You know, the world is yours. Just continue to dial the phone, pick up the phone, open up more wholesale accounts, source more products. Like, you know, it's all those inputs. It's boring, it sucks, but those are the things that are going to generate the results you want to see in your business, whatever those goals are. So
I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you haven't yet signed up for Third-Party Profits, click the link down below to start your 10-day free trial. My team will also onboard you into the system. Hope to see you guys inside and increase your margins and your profits for your Amazon wholesale business. See you in the next video.